Hello, I'm Jessica.
I'm Jeanette.
And we are with So Sweet Quilt Shop in Brunswick, Missouri. So come see us. We're here.
Yeah.
Anyway, today is our quilty chat. So we each have 8 projects that we're going to share with you that we have been working on or want to work on or something. And we encourage you to do the same. So get yourself a notebook, make a list of projects that you want to work on. It's just a nice way to kind of keep track, and then it's fun to check them off when you get them done.
And then if you get kind of a thicker notebook, like I have 2 years in here. So that's always fun.
Yeah, that's exciting. Yeah, and so you really do make progress, especially when you're writing it down. You really get to see the progress you're making, which is fun. Like I said, we are a quilt shop, so if anything we show that we have the kit or the pattern or the book, we will tell you that. And in the description below is a link to our Facebook page where you can find our contact information. And we do a shopping every Friday on Facebook. And there's also our phone number in the description to the shop. So you can always call the shop to find out if we still have it or whatever. $7 flat rate shipping. Spend $100, it's free shipping. Anything else?
It's October the 11th today, 2022.
That's right.
Yeah, I think sometimes when you go to watching just our videos, if we don't say the date or what number it is, you don't know when you're watching it.
It's in the description.
Is it in the description at the bottom? I know a lot of YouTube videos that I watch a lot of Flosstubers. They always say, Flosstube number 78 and the date. So I thought we'll throw that in there.
Sure, you can. Be my guest.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started then. Number 1 is my red work cross stitch, and I just checked on the wall, and we are fresh out of this. Let's hope it comes back in.
It'll be ordered. I mean, if it's not in, it'll be ordered.
Before, when I showed it a week ago, I was lacking like this little basket here at the bottom, and I ran out of floss because I'm using a hand-dyed Gentle Art called Ruby Slipper. Anyway, my coworker and friend said, I have a little bit of that at home. So that let me finish it up because we're still waiting on the floss to come in.
Yep, it's been ordered.
Everything just takes longer, and us in America, we want it instant.
It just takes a little time.
The world has changed. Anyway, finished, complete. It's ready to go in a frame. I checked the white frame. I was always thinking about putting it in, and it's not big enough.
Oh, so
I mean, like a half inch.
Yeah.
It's a white frame that, anyway. So this is very odd shaped. I think it's like 10 by 11. And my frame was 8 by 11. Even when I took the little, what do you call that, matting out?
Yeah.
Still wasn't quite big enough.
So new frame.
New frame.
Okay, so my first project, I forgot. I've washed it and dried it, and it's in my dryer at home. So
it's okay.
It's the Lucky Log Cabin. We do have the kit, so I'm just going to show that to you, and I will get it in here. But anyway, I have it totally done. It's washed,
in
dried.
the dryer, she said, so I can only imagine how nice it's going to be.
Yep, it's got a little label thing on it. Anyway, it's really nice. I'm going to bring it in. But so this is the kit that we do have, and it's using the Mammoth flannels. And it turned out really nice. So anyway, that's what I'm showing you for number 1.
Yay. Okay, I'm going to show you another cross stitch. It is the season 2 a year celebrations, and yes, this has been ordered. We are still waiting. I'm trying to keep up with the month, even though it'll probably be the last of October when I actually get October done. But October has that little tiny pumpkin with this white at the bottom. And look at the progress I already made.
Wow, that's so cute, the little white pumpkin.
Little white pumpkin, so it's close. I mean, I would say 3/4 done. Really just have this part left to do. And then I'll be finishing that. And I've done this on 25 count vintage mocha. So I'm going 2 threads over 2 over 2.
Yep, looks really nice. All right, so next is the Gardenville Stars, and I'm still trying to cut up my scrap pile that's in the corner. You just spin.
It's a nice way of saying it, pile.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm cutting it up for a couple scrap quilts and just getting it off the table into 2.5 5-inch and 1.5-inch strips and squares. But anyway, yeah, it's taken some time. So I got sick of that, so I went and worked on my design boards. I like to cut projects on my design boards and stack them up and then work through them. So anyway, this was the last thing on my design board. So now I'm ready to start cutting again for blocks.
Ooh, that one's pretty.
So anyway, I wrote it down. I need 42 and I have 27 done.
Ooh, yeah.
So I think I ended up, I told you guys last week that I had one or two blocks that had black as the background. And I thought, oh, I really like that. So I picked up some more black here at the shop. So I think the next set, which
will have more black in it.
Yeah, I think I can do, it's 12 that fills up the design board if I cut for 12. So I'm gonna do all 12 in the black background, and then that'll get me some blacks to go in the quilt.
But you only need 42 to complete it?
Yeah, you only need 42 blocks.
Yeah, so if you have 14 or something in black, it's not going to take over, and it's not going to be half.
I left all the whole pattern at home. Now you got me questioning, but I'm pretty sure it's just 42 that I need. Anyway, that's the pattern, and we do have the pattern.
Do have the pattern.
Yeah.
Yeah, it took us a while to get that back in, too. It's an older pattern, I think, for her anyway.
Yep.
Okay, so I got some binding sewn on. Not all the hand sewing done, but I sewed the binding on my pixel quilt and started hand sewing it last night. The old pixel quilt that we did as a sew along on our Facebook group. Whoa!
Yeah, mine's in the quilt to be quilted pile.
So I
yeah, I like that binding.
It's just a grunge, but this was a jelly roll, you know, from a long time ago. And you know, it has the wonderful.
Oh man, I bet that's pretty heavy.
It's pretty heavy.
Yeah.
It's almost like your log cabin. It's kind of weighted.
Yeah.
And then this is just I think it's called plum raisin binding. That's a grunge.
It'd be great.
So it is half hand sewed.
Oh, halfway.
Yeah, I thought I'd finish it last night, but here's the section left to hand sew.
You're getting close.
Close. I mean,
so it's minky on the back, and then Essex linen is the background, and the pattern's pixel chain.
And we have the pattern.
And we have the pattern. Okay, so last week I showed you guys, I've been working on a basketball quilt for my daughter who's likes to play basketball. So here's the pattern, slam dunk, and I think we only have one of these left, but I am going to get them ordered. So anyway, I showed the one block, and then I had a customer come in, and she was like, hey, I didn't want to say anything, but you're missing missing the stripe in your basketball. I was like, what? And I didn't even have it here. So I was like, okay, you know how me and I forget, don't read the whole pattern thoroughly. So anyway, I was missing this. Did anyone else notice that last week?
I hadn't noticed.
Yeah, I got home and I got it out. I'm like, oh, so I didn't have this thing. It was just all the...
Oh, you had to take all that apart.
Well, it wasn't bad. I just had to take this off, and then you just cut it.
And then you add the black.
So if you read the pattern, the very last instruction on the block is to cut it in half and sew that black strip on it.
Well, it does look more like a basketball now.
Yeah, before it looked kind of funky. So anyway, now it's basketball.
Oh, yeah. She would have probably figured that out, Clara.
Yeah, maybe so. But anyway, yeah, it wasn't a big deal. I just had to take this off and then cut it.
Framing.
So I did that this morning.
She fixed it before she showed it live again.
Yeah, I thought, I'm going to fix that before that lady sees me show it again, and it's wrong.
Oh, boy.
So I'm going to try to get a few more cut out to work on.
No, I didn't bring this pattern over here. It is a little rose, but
that's all right.
Okay, I showed a store sample that I had cut out and a few blocks done last week, but I worked on this on Sunday and got it complete. So this is a kit that we sell, and I think it's pronounced Pilaf.
It's P-I-L-I-F, and it's on a little Villa Rose card. We do have kits. It's a quick sew. I love it.
So I think I am going to put a couple of borders on it because I have a brother that is...
She got someone in mind.
And he's a tall guy, so.
Yeah, and it's, more masculine. It's got some plaid in there, some birds.
It's got, my brother's a big fisherman, so it's got,
fish things.
what do you want to call that? Like a text print that's all about fishing?
Oh, right there.
That's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
So it comes in all them colors, but it's
like a newspaper
like
type
a
thing.
newspaper or catalog or something that would be fishing. So anyway, it is done. I've just got to pick out a couple of borders for it and make it a little bigger. And then I think I will do flannel on the back.
Yay. Yeah, it'd be a great gift. Okay, so I worked on, and I got this quilt done. So it's in this book, Charm School. We do have the book, and the quilt is Scrap Happy. So this one. And I have it done and quilted, but I went to sew binding on it, and I don't have any binding. So I just never got any, I guess.
Well, I think it was so many colors you wasn't going to be able to decide till you got it done.
Yeah. So anyway, I have it done except binding. Look at the back.
Ooh, look at the back.
Birds. Just very scrappy.
Love it. Love it, love it. You made it look so different than the picture because yours is just really brighter.
Yeah, I did the orange stars, and I mean, you
your
can
background
see,
is pattern.
yeah, hers is white stars, and you just can't hardly even see them.
And your background's lovely.
It used quite a few 2.5 inch strips, so if you have, or squares, so if you have some 2.5 inch squares you're wanting to get rid of,
there you go.
that's a good way to do that. It was pretty quick.
Love a good scrap quilt.
So I'm gonna pick out binding today.
Yeah, we both have jobs to do.
Yeah.
To do too.
Yep.
All right, I sewed my binding on my Christmas quilt. And do you remember what this one's called? It's a layer cake. Don't have, I bought the layer cake somewhere
If I
else.
see it.
Is it Grand Central? Grand?
Oh, Grand Star, I
Grand
think.
Star.
Yeah, and it's a free pattern from Robert Kaufman. We actually, a few weeks ago on our shopping, if you bought the layer cake or kit or something,
Yeah, like we
included
did a
the
layer
pattern.
cake. We did three different colorways, a layer cake and background that we chose. And then if you bought any of those, you got the pattern that we printed out for you. But that's the binding, and it is again a grunge. Grunge is a great one to go to if you didn't buy binding to begin with, because there's so many colors of it. You can get it to go with something you have. Look at my backing on this.
Yay! I like that.
So binding is all sewed on, 0 hand sewing.
Well, but it's sewn on. That's a big step.
This is like 78.5 by 78.5. It is a square quilt, but it takes almost the entire layer cake. I think 36, 38 squares.
Yeah, I have some layer cakes at home. I've been thinking maybe I ought to do that with, because it'd just be quick, you know.
Yeah, and you say, got it done.
Got it done.
So binding sewn on, hand sewing left.
Okay, so I like to have a scrap quilt going all the time, setting by my sewing machine, and I use it as a leader and ender. So I never cut the thread on as I feed stuff through my machine. I just send through the next block of the scrap quilt. And so I've been working on this one, Hourglass quilt pattern, and I did share this morning on our private Facebook group the link to this pattern. It's by Cluck Cluck Sew, so you can go print it off yourself. And I got a few more done.
Got a nice stack going on there.
Yeah, so you're just putting a light and a dark together, 2 contrast pieces, and then you draw lines so on either side, and then you're going to cut. And then you make these little hourglass blocks.
Something I pointed out last week is this pattern is free, and it's by Cluck Cluck Sew, but she has done all the math for you. So if you had a stack of squares that were 6 inch, 7 inch, 4 inch, whatever, you could make them work in this, and then she tells you how many you need to get it as big as you want it, which is another great thing.
Yeah.
So if, I'm guessing you're going to go at least throw 56 by 70, or twin is 70 by 90.
We'll go until I'm sick of it, I guess. So anyway, these are the ones that are done, and I have these that need to be cut. So.
Oh yeah, if you're gonna go 56 by 70.
Mom's gonna find out how many.
And you started with 3.5 inch squares, which you didn't. Yours
I started with 5.
Okay. Well, it's done the math. If you needed 320 squares, if you started with 3.5, but yours are gonna finish bigger than that.
So I might have, I don't know, 100.
I would say 100.
Out of 100.
You'd beautiful stack.
Just a few more hundred to go.
Okay, Celebrations quilt. Somebody's trying to get in.
You go ahead. I'll get it.
Okay, this is a new store sample we put together last week. And here it is. It's another Villa Rose. And the quilt will finish 64 by 80. It takes 20 back quarters. But we have this line of fabric upstairs that is a Christmas line that is just unique. For instance, llamas with presents on their back. Isn't that cool? And then we have these pretty little soldiers. No, what do you call them? What do you call them?
My brain just...
Nutcrackers.
Nutcrackers, there you go.
And it's all got a little bit, a touch of metallic. I shouldn't say every print.
It's really pretty. It's a really
So what I did is, it
Christmas.
is a really unique Christmas. And instead of doing 20 back quarters, I did 10 half-yard cuts. So it's going to be a little bit more controlled.
Won't be nearly as busy as the pattern, which I think will be perfect.
And this one's just a pretty, I mean, that's a unique color for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got the ornaments in the burgundy color. Some more little candy canes in turquoise. And
The
look at
sun's
this.
bright.
Oh, wow, it is. Look at this pretty print. Isn't that cute? And the trees all have a little metallic in them with the decorations.
Yeah, and then that's your,
That's all the prints. This is where you see the black will be this light gray, and it's called speckled. So I think it's going to not be quite so dark.
yeah, it'll really show up in there.
And then that's your binding.
Love it.
So this is my next store sample. I don't think I'll get it done in a week, but I could at least get it cut out. I haven't even done that yet.
Yeah, we like the little Villa Rose ones because they're typically pretty fast.
Pretty fast sews, and you know, as shop owners, you're often looking for something that
Will highlight the fabric.
will highlight the fabric, and then you don't have 500 hours in making the sample.
Right. Okay, so I have been showing the fall. We did this as a block of the month, and we have like we have a few kits left here in the shop. They're $200, includes the pattern and everything you need to do to the top. But I would like to work on the border, so anyway, I got it out. Put it on my list.
She's got all of her blocks done.
I
And
do
they're
have
gorgeous.
all my blocks done. Look at this one.
And I love to work on fall stuff in the fall. Christmas, during Christmas.
Right. This is the last one I did, I think.
Oh, yeah. And it's got a really neat patterned background in all the blocks. It's got a little acorn on it. What you call that acorn?
I don't know, like a pumpkin vine?
Oh, no, maybe it's more of a pumpkin vine
I don't know.
and a bud or something.
Yeah. So anyway, I have all the blocks done. Here's the turkey.
Oh, yeah, the turkey. So this is the same turkey that was on my table runner. Pieced the same way because the pattern was from the same designer.
Yep. Anyway, maybe I can get that done over the next week. We'll see.
We will see. That is the story of our
It
life.
went on the list again. So.
Okay.
Back on the list.
Okay. So I'm going to show you another cross stitch. Since I finished my red work, I got this one out this morning and said, okay, now let's put this in the rotation again because I do love it. And again, look how close it is.
Yeah, really close.
So it's called Sir Dandy. Just a little cross stitch that is 141 by 112 in stitch count. And I'm doing it on a, I should have wrote that down. I think it's 16 count. But the wonderful thing about it is I'm using silk, NPI silk. Look how close it is. This has just been dreamy to work with. It lays so flat and nice. Even looks good on the back. Anyway, I love me some silk. This was the first time I've ever done a cross stitch in silk. There they are in their little bags on the hook. So I'm going to take this with me on my little trip that I'm taking here next week.
Yay.
And I should finish that right up.
Okay, so next up, I dug out an oldie. But I did see that the Stitch Pink, they got a new one. I haven't looked it up yet, but I saw a little advertisement. But anyway, this was from a few years ago. I want to say this was during COVID time.
And it doesn't even tell you a date.
It does somewhere, but I don't know. But anyway, I
There's
got
probably
it.
12 blocks.
No, there's
No.
way more. There it is. It doesn't give you a date, but
Ooh,
that's
that is
the
pretty.
quilt. And I am at like block 23, and there's,
Oh, there's a lot more
there's
as well.
30.
So you're doing pretty good.
So I'm really close.
Oh, look at your colors.
Yes.
So
and I
pretty.
put them in this little Jen Kingwell bag. We do have these at the shop.
Kind of like block keepers, I
They're
think.
so handy to put your blocks in. You can see.
Oh my gosh, I remember this quilt. Yes, you got to get that done.
Yes, so I dug it out. I'm gonna get it done.
Anna Marie Horner's fabric, which I just love.
I thought something was wrong on that one, but it's not. Look at this one. Tedious thing.
That looks like a tedious thing. Look at that one though, how pretty that is. Her background is a almost ombre looking dot. Goes from light to dark.
Yeah, it's got, I don't know that it goes light to dark. It's got like a dark dot and then like a yellow dot here and there, which kind of gives the illusion
that it's going from light to dark.
Look at this one with the bird.
The bird head. Oh, you got it up there too.
Yeah, here's the house. I mean, I'm close. There's just no reason not to get this done.
No, because they're so pretty.
And there's no no sashing. So once you have the blocks done,
so you might be able to go on Moda's. It's like the bake shop. I don't know.
I remember. It's been several years ago.
So it may still be available, but it was free. Ooh, that was pretty too. So they've done a good job just coming up with really unique blocks.
I think, I don't know, I hate to
I'll
say
say if it was a designer type thing.
Yeah, and I don't know if like there's a variety of designers that participate or what.
That's really pretty. Okay, so I think I have one more. Yes, I do. And this has nothing to do with anything I've sewn, but this had to do with, I went to the store yesterday and this new book came in. It's called Scrappiness is Happiness by Lori Holt, and I know it had been ordered for us for a while, but it is a lovely book, and like a lot of her books, it's done on a spiral edge, which I love because the book will lay flat, but there is so many scrap quilts in here.
Yeah,
I'm so obsessed.
I peeked at it yesterday. I didn't take one home, but
I did.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'm doing that.
So we do have them.
We do have them. I don't know. Look at the shopping cart. That was like a dream there. Would you like to go shopping, get your cart full of fabric like that?
Yes. Dream come true.
Yes, and the colors are just, you know, whoever does her books, their photography is really good. And the other thing she does, she's doing all the math for you. So I have a square triangle size chart, fast flying geese size chart. So a lot of that's done for you. But, oh, it's such a book. I mean, this is like a true coffee table book. It's like, you don't make anything out of them if you're a quilter. You just want to look at it.
I just want to study the book.
So that was my last thing to share. No sewing.
Okay, my last one was, I dug out another one that I think we have one kit of this left, the bunnies.
Oh, the bunnies, the lovely little bunnies.
Yeah, and I've got several done, so I just need to finish it too. But aren't they so cute?
They are so
I did Essex linen background in the purple, and then the bunnies are made out of the lawn fabrics.
Which are just soft and dreamy. And that looks like summer. Which is about, summer's about to leave us. We're going to get into fall.
But, you know, when you're on a day that you're dreaming of
Warm weather,
spring, you could make bunnies.
You can make bunnies and think about spring and Easter coming.
Yeah, so anyway, I'd like to get a few more blocks done of that. But I dug out some oldies for you this week.
Yes. Okay.
Anything else?
No, that's it. But we will not have a YouTube video next week, just so you know. So don't go searching for it.
Yeah.
I'm going out of town, so Jessica's going to wait for me to come back.
Yeah, so there'll be no YouTube video and
no Facebook.
No live shopping. So we're gonna take a week off, but then we'll see you the following week. So
yes.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.